good afternoon or good evening, I guess. I see all my friends that sell makeup and different stuff going online and showing how they do their thing. And so what I do is sell Pampered Chef. So I'm going to try to, I'm practicing a recipe. So I just thought I would invite you to watch me while I do it. And we're going to make summertime spaghetti. So it doesn't have a thick Alfredo or tomato sauce, but it's got a light dressing with mostly fresh ingredients. So anyway, here's how it goes. Now I haven't done this before, so I'm going to try to figure out how you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. We are going to start with 2 lemons. So there's a lemon, and let me see if I can point this down just a little bit and put something there so you can see that. Okay, maybe not. How about a salt shaker? Oh, perfect. Okay, now you can't see my face, but you can see the lemon a little bit. So there's the lemon, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little of the zest off of the lemon. So this is our microplane zester, and if you've never zested a lemon, it's really easy. You just rub it across the peel. So the zest, of course, is the yellow part. When you get down to the white part, that's the pith, and that is very bitter. So when you're zesting, what you want to keep in mind is that you don't dip down into the white. So keep all the yellow. Okay. So, and the zest is very flavorful, and you see a lot of recipes call for lemon zest, and it's super, super easy just to do it yourself. Okay. So you can kind of see how it's collecting up in the back of the zester there. Okay, so we're going to do 2 of these. And I'm not going to use, I'm going to use the juice of the lemon right away and save the zest for a little bit later. So I'm not worrying about making it too pretty. Okay, there's one, and so we just need about a tablespoon of lemon zest. And truthfully, probably 1 lemon will do it, but I'll just do a little bit extra. Usually you can zest a lime, a lemon, or an orange. Those are pretty much the only ones that I've seen in most recipes. But a zester like this could be used for doing ginger. If you got fresh ginger and you wanted to grate some fresh ginger. Ginger has sort of a peel on it, so you have to peel it first, and then you can grate the ginger. Another really good fresh ingredient. And with ginger, what's cool about that is it keeps a long time in the fridge if you haven't peeled it yet. So it's kind of a nice thing and fairly easy to keep on hand. Okay. All right, so there's some lemon zest. And now one other thing I want to show you while we're doing this is we're going to use our citrus press. Looks like that. Okay, you can't really tell the construction, but this is a metal. It's a coated, and we are going to grab a measuring cup, and it says we want a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Now, I hope you can see this well. This gets so much juice out of your lemon or lime, and we'll probably need all 4 halves to get to a 1/2 cup, maybe. All right. Now, did you notice how I put it in there this way? There's something about our brains that make us think that, oh, that it's shaped this way and the tool is shaped this way, so I should put it in this way. But if you think about it for a second, it makes sense. You got to put it down this way so that the juice comes out the holes. Otherwise, you're trying to press through the rind. That won't work too well. Okay, so as you juice it, then it flips it inside out as it squeezes. And I'm going to put those in the garbage disposal. It's going to make it smell nice and pretty. Uh-oh, oh dear, I just spilled. Well, you know, that's live. Okay, well, luckily we have one more. Let's see how far that takes us. Okay, so we've got, oh wow, that's a really juicy one. Okay, there's that one. And here is this one. You can sort of hear how much juice is pouring out of those. Okay. Now, if you didn't have a fresh lemon, you certainly could just use the store-bought lemon juice. But of course, the fresh ingredients are what really give this recipe a fresh summertime flavor. I won't run that just yet. Okay, so the first couple of ingredients that we're going to use are the broth and lemon juice and noodles. I like vermicelli. It is backwards, of course, on your screen, but vermicelli is a thin noodle. So if you have spaghetti, thin spaghetti, vermicelli would be the next thinner one, but not as thin as Angel here. So this calls for 12 ounces. So this is about 6 servings. And we are going to put it in the deep cover baker. Now, a lot of my customers have deep cover bakers, and a lot of you have ones that are not this color. This is our gray. This is the new color. All of our glazes are now neutral, so it's either gray or white or tan. We have a sandstone on a couple of items. But the deep cover baker now comes in gray. Some of the other pieces come in white. So we're going to take, I'm just going to do this half and half. We're going to break the spaghetti in half. And that makes it fit in the bowl easier, and it's a little bit easier to deal with when you're eating it. If you like it long, you can certainly leave it long. And I probably should have done that in 3 batches. Okay, so there's the other group, and then the last group. Okay, it fits nicely in there. Now that we've broken it in half. So we're going to put our lemon juice in there. It smells so fresh. I know you can't smell it, but it looks great. And then I'm just going to do some chicken broth. Now, if I get fancy, sometimes I make my own vegetable broth, but this is just store-bought. And I finished off 1 carton, and I'm going to add some more. We need about 3½ cups. And while most of you cook spaghetti like I do, and you don't measure the water because you're going to drain it off, we're not going to drain it off. So it's this would be a recipe where you'd want to measure how much liquid you're putting in. So about 3½ cups. Oops, I got a little lemon seed in there. Let me get that out. Okay. So all we've put in so far is 3½ cups. That's about, if you buy the canned broth, that's about 2 cans. And then 2 lemons, juice of 2 lemons, which was a 1/4 cup, and 1 12-ounce package of vermicelli. Now I'm going to put it in the microwave. Yes, I said the microwave. So here we go. I think you can see the microwave in the picture. And we're going to put that on for about 11 minutes, but we want to stir halfway through, so I'm going to put it on for 6, and then we'll check on it in a minute. Now, while that is cooking, we are going to get the other ingredients ready. So this summertime spaghetti, I guess you can hear me talking while I'm not doing anything. You might like to see my face. So this summertime spaghetti is going to have some chicken and broccoli and tomatoes, and along with some fresh Parmesan, some parsley, and a little black pepper and garlic. So now that's enough of my face. Okay, what we're going to do, I can go ahead and do this step. Instead of grilling my chicken for this recipe, which I do often, I'm going to just use a canned chicken, and I get one packed in water because that saves on some of the calories. And using my smooth edge can opener. A lot of you have this product as well, and there it is. I heard a little click. Now, sometimes you might be thinking, how do I get this off of here? Just turn it back one way, one turn the other way. And then you've got a can that still looks closed, but can you see this little thing where my pointy finger's pointing? See that? I'll put it against my shirt, maybe you can see it. And you take that little section, and this, where my thumb is, oops, you press down, and it makes those little teeth clip on. And so we're going to take that and we're going to pull it up, and it pulls that off for you. All right. Might as well show you some other cool Pampered Chef stuff while we're at it. Anybody have this little can strainer? It's a little inexpensive thing, but it helps you drain your can. And if you've got a small can, like a soup can, you can put it on this way. Since this can is bigger than the strainer, I'm going to put it inside. And I'm just going to do it right in the sink. You can't really see this a little bit off screen, but you can imagine what that looks like. So it looks like that, and I just pressed it down while I was pouring it out. So it kept all my ingredients inside the can and let the liquid out. And I did 2 cans. I already did this one earlier. Now, one thing that you want to note about the smooth edge can opener is I can stick the lid back on, kind of like that, until I'm ready to use it. You don't probably want to get too much into that because you want to remember that the can is open. And it is completely smooth edge, so I'm not going to cut myself. My dogs who are rooting around in the trash or the recycle bin are not going to cut themselves. So very nice to have a smooth edge. Okay, that's in the trash. All right, so we're going to have diced chicken, so 2 cups, whether you use the can. I like, if I'm in a hurry, I like to use a can, but if you're grilling your own, that would probably be about 1 huge chicken breast, or maybe 1.5 kind of smaller ones, to get you 2 cups of diced, which would be maybe a pound of chicken, maybe a little less. Okay. Next thing I want to show you, I got some tomatoes from my garden. Aren't those beautiful? Okay, and I want to show you this close and cut. And this whole purpose is to keep you from cutting yourself. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut all of these tomatoes in half, and you could certainly do them one by one. But you might have seen this trick with like 2 plates, and you close it together, and inside these plates are flexible. You see how that's moving? So when I put it down like that, it's closing over the tomatoes, and then I'm going to take a long knife, chef's knife, and I'm going to cut all the way through. And you see that? I know it's kind of at the bottom of the screen. So you just need a long enough knife that is bigger than the circumference of the close and cut. And all of those are cut in half at the same time. Just kind of makes quick work of that. If you've got grapes for a salad, or you want to cut grapes that you're feeding to a preschooler, something like that, that works out really well. Okay. We're also going to add some broccoli later, and that's just fresh broccoli, and didn't really do anything to that. Okay, so we got the chicken, the broccoli, and the tomatoes. Now we're going to put the other ingredients in the manual food processor. So the manual food processor has 3 parts. It's got the lid, the bowl, and the blade. Okay, it's real simple. These 2 can go in the dishwasher. The lid, you don't want to get water trapped in there, so just wipe that one off. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to mix together some garlic and a little olive oil, some Parmesan cheese, and some parsley, also straight out of my garden. I just went and picked it. Okay. So let's see, we need 3 cloves of peeled garlic. Have you ever used a garlic peeler? Okay, it looks like that. So I'm going to see if I can do 2 at a time. You put them in there and you set it on your board. You can sort of hear that crunching in there. So, and that is the peel sloughing off, and I sort of messed that one up with the second one in there, but the first one came out good, all clean. So let me put that second and third one back in there. You can do 2 at a time, but you just kind of have to feel where you are, and I'm trying to tilt the camera down for you. Okay, there we go. All right, I didn't do that one quite long enough, but you get the idea. All right, so there's a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm going to put those in the manual food processor. We are going to use 1/2 cup fresh parsley. I'm just going to use the same one we used for. And I washed this because I wasn't sure how dirty it was because I just tripped it off my bush outside. I would say I'm an organic farmer because I don't put anything on it. However, that doesn't mean there's not dirt on it, so I did wash them. Okay, so there's some parsley. Okay, just putting that in the bowl. I always kind of like to put my hand over the little tip of the blade because see that little hex shape. Sometimes ingredients fall in there, so I just put it over there. We're also going to add a little bit of olive oil, 3 tablespoons. Now, I'm going to show you one of my favorite little teaspoon measures. This one, you notice it looks kind of like a regular measuring cup. This one's called the Mini Easy Read Measuring Cup, and it does just a 1/4 cup. On this side, it has up to 2 ounces and 4 tablespoons, so kind of like a shot glass size. But when you have several tablespoons, like this calls for 3 tablespoons, that way I'm not dishing 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. I can just do all 3 at one time, so I think this is really convenient. I will let you know that we've already seen the discontinued list for fall, and this cute guy is not going to be back. So if you want one of these, you got to order it before the end of August. It is sold separately. The other 3 sizes are sold as a set, the 1 cup, 2 cup, and 4 cup. And that was the 4 cup size that we measured the broth in. Okay, so that's 2 of those down. Okay, and let's see what else we're supposed to put in here. Garlic, Parmesan, parsley zest. Okay, so now we need that lemon zest again, and that is over here. Come on in. Okay, have visitors.
We're just gonna bring Casey home.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Baxter can come outside a little.
After a little while. Okay.
Maybe in 5 minutes. I'll put him on a leash.
Okay, not right now. I'll bring him out when I'm done.
Okay, when you're done
Okay.
with dinner.
Okay, well, thank you for that. That was my neighbor bringing my dog home. See, she was having a play date. And we are going to put in the lemon zest. We did it earlier. Oops, and I just did what I told you not to do. I got the ingredients in that little hole. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, this is one of our the large cutting board, which I just love. It's one of my favorite pieces, it is plastic, but it's not. I just hate those glass ones that sound so terrible when you run your thing against them. It also has, you can sort of see, has little marks on the side, and the gray is, I think it has, centimeters on one side and inches on the other side. But that helps you if you have to cut something to a specific size for a recipe. Also, this gray part is kind of a grippy, so so it helps it not to slide around on your counter. And then on the back, you can use either side. And this side, you can see, has a little well and on the back, so that if you're doing something juicy, like when I chop tomatoes for salsa, sometimes it just generates so much juice, sort of collects in the well. It's kind of nice, keeps it out of the way. Okay. The microwave is beeping, so we're going to do some. So I'm going to stir that, and you see these cute little thingies? Those are microwave grips, and they just help it when you got something hot in the microwave. Okay, I'll just let you see that. It's still got quite a bit of liquid going on in there. You can't really see that. But we're just going to stir, and we're going to put it on for 5 or 6 more minutes. But, and that kind of gives me an insight to see if I put too much liquid in or not. Worst case scenario, you could pour some off if you got too much, but I think this is going to be just about right. Since we measured at the beginning, should be fine. Put that on for 5 more minutes. And the last thing we need for our manual food processor is some Parmesan cheese. And I don't know how you feel about grated cheese. I pretty much will buy anything that's already done for me. However, if you have the opportunity to grate your own Parmesan, it really is so much nicer than the, you know, that like powdery stuff you get in the green box, which I have. But anyway, so this calls for 1 ounce of Parmesan cheese, and no one knows how much an ounce is, but it's about a 1/4 cup. So when you buy those bags, it'll say 4 ounces is a cup, or usually they come in 2-cup bags. The little bags are 8 ounces, and it says it measures 2 cups. So I'm just eyeballing it there. And my motto is, of course, you can never have too much cheese, so we're going to do a little bit more. Okay. But this is the microplane fine grater, and there is one that is a coarse grater, so it has bigger holes. It's kind of in the same family with the zester, kind of like the mama of that one. But this one is kind of neat. Now you saw how I did it, just holding it like a plane, but you could also, there's a little thumb hole right there. You can press that and bend it, and it locks in, and then you can do it kind of like the box grater that you grew up with. So it works kind of like that. I've gotten in the habit of doing this because I like to store it in my drawer flat, but you can also put it in the dishwasher like that, and it does come with a little plastic guard so that you don't reach in your drawer and grate your fingers. So that's kind of nice. And you can close it all the way down like that too if you prefer to store it that way. So either way, whichever works the best for your drawer situation. Okay. So now we've got some cheese, some parsley, some lemon zest, and some garlic. Just take a little of that and put it on top. Okay. Now we're going to put the lid on, and you saw the little hexagonal shaped hole, and here's the little mechanism that you line those two up, and it has a little lock. So there's your handle, and we're just gonna, it's gonna be kind of loud, but can you see that? So it goes like that as you press. Okay. Now that's really wimpy pressing because I'm holding it up. So what you want to do is more like this. For some reason I always do it this way. It just seems to make sense to me. But if you wanted to do it this way and push forward, that's fine. That's my left hand. It's equal opportunity. Carpal tunnel. And So now that's what it looks like. We've mixed that all up together. So this little guy you can use for just about anything to chop up, or you kind of use it like a hand blender. And like I said, that goes in the dishwasher, so I'm just going to stick it over there for now. Okay. And what else do I need? Okay. All right, I'll let you see my face again. So this needs just a little bit longer, just maybe the last minute. So I'm going to use one of my scrapers. These are on the special this month. If you spend $75, you get a free scraper. And you can choose whichever size you want. So what we're going to do is we've cooked now the noodles. Back up here a little bit. Okay. So we cooked the noodles just in the broth and the lemon juice, and we cooked those for 11 to 13 minutes. And we're going to check it in just a minute. And then we're going to, we processed in here some fresh Parmesan, some parsley, and garlic with a little bit of olive oil. And we probably could have gone even lower. If you're trying to eat light, you could probably skimp on the olive oil a little bit more, even still. No, I think it'd be fine. And then we're going to just mix everything together. So we're going to use this this is basically our sauce, little olive oil with the Parmesan and the parsley and garlic in there. It's going to be so delicious. And then we're going to mix in the chicken and the sliced tomatoes and some broccoli crowns. Okay, so here it comes. And we're going to put that cheese on top. These are the chef's tongs, and they have a little gravity lock. So when I hold it up like that, it falls into the lock position, and when I turn it upside down, it unlocks. Okay. This is slightly soupy, but we're going to add that broccoli in, and that's going to need a little bit of moisture. All right, you're done seeing my face. I'm going to try to point this down. Okay. The spaghetti, we're putting in the broccoli. And that just called for 1 cup of broccoli. I probably put a little bit extra, depending on how big you cut your florets. So I left mine kind of big, so I'll put a little more than a cup. All right. And this one. Okay, my phone is ringing, so hopefully they won't leave a message, but if they do, they'll be on my live along with Delilah. Okay. There's our cheese mixture. There's our chicken. Okay, good. I didn't leave a message. Okay. All right. Oh, that is looking so good. Okay, there. Woo, it's a little bit warm. Here's what it looks like so far. And we're going to put in the tomatoes. Okay. Now, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I'll try to hold it up a little bit while we're mixing it in. Okay, yes, I'm glad I didn't drain off any of that liquid because it's all getting absorbed. These additional ingredients. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we want to cook the broccoli just a little bit. So we're going to put the whole thing back in for a couple more minutes in the microwave. So 3 more minutes and we'll have a beautiful, beautiful summer spaghetti. And thank you for the people who are watching. I have didn't announce this because I just wanted to see how it was going to go. And I had my Weight Watcher meeting tonight, so I was super, super starving when I got home. So I figured this would be a good time to just practice and see how that goes. Okay. Kim and Stacy, I think you two are the only two online that I can see. What did you think so far? I don't know how much of a delay there is, or if you're even still watching. Oh my goodness, hi Steve. The spaghetti is in for the last 3 minutes. Hi Cheryl. I have to still figure out how to get my face and the ingredients in the picture at the same time, but I'd rather you see the ingredients than my face in general. So my next one will be some more ice cream, I think, but not tonight. Okay, let's see how much time we have left. Okay, it takes a long time, 3 minutes, when you're trying to fill time. But anyway, so I'm just going to review all the tools that I used. I used the can opener, smooth edge can opener, to open the cans of chicken. I used the close and cut and the coated chef's knife to cut the tomatoes in half. I peeled the garlic with the garlic peeler. Oh, and I drained the cans with my can strainer. Okay. We used several different easy read measuring cups, including the little mini one that's going away. Don't forget about that. We used the zester to zest the lemons and the citrus press to press the juice. This one comes in very, very handy if you like to make your own mojitos. So there was a very short list of things my husband uses all the time, and this is one of them. We used the chef's tongs to stir the spaghetti. These actually come in 2 sizes. This is the long ones, and the short ones are, you know, about 2/3 the size. I actually like the small ones better because I feel like I have better control over them. But you can see there's quite a difference in the size of the tips there. And these are you can use on your nonstick cookware since they're not metal tips. Okay. And we use the manual food processor to mix up the parsley, and that blade was actually cutting the parsley and cutting the cloves of garlic, since we didn't press the garlic, but we could have done that if you didn't have a way to do it. Okay, and you saw the cutting board and you saw my little micro grips. These are marvelous. So I'm using them to get this big thing out of there, but you could obviously use a regular pot holder for that. But where I think they come in really, really handy is when you just have a plate. You know, we all do it. If it's not metal, we assume it's microwave safe. Well, it's not going to explode, but it's probably not designed for the microwave. That's why it gets so freaking hot. But so we've all done it. We grab that plate and it's burning our fingers, and we will just hold on to it because we don't want to drop the plate. But these little guys, I just keep in the drawer right next to my microwave, so you can pull in there and get the bowl or the plate. And they're made out of silicone, so they will keep your hands safe. And ta-da! Now you get to see what we made. Okay, that's not good. Let me move this. It'll be better. Okay, how did I do that? There we go. Uh-oh, getting a big picture. Special and very fresh, and I'm here by myself, so I'm gonna have dinner now, even though it's late. Thanks, Cheryl. Oh, and I have a little bit of cheese I didn't use up, so you can never have too much cheese. Put that on top. Thank you. I'm going to try to do this for a show. I talked to a lady today who said she wants to do a Facebook Live show, so I'll probably practice a few more times before I do a show with her. So those of you who live out of town, I could do that for you too. Bye!